a lighting guy.
He is lighting it up. Ready?
Thank you.
So
In a nutshell, our department is tasked with providing services and benefits to any honorable discharge veteran, and most importantly, under the law, his dependents, which means his spouse and his kids. So our mission statement is based on Abraham Lincoln's second inaugural address: to care for he who has borne the battle, and his widow and his orphan. So the entire spectrum of anything that a veteran needs falls under the purview of our office: medical benefits, education benefits, clothing, financial aid, anything that a veteran could possibly need, they come to see us for. The desk is primarily the base of operations, but because of the sometimes nature of the veteran we're dealing with, they're homebound. So we have to go visit them at their home, or at their nursing home, or at their assisted living facility. And the same thing applies to their spouses or widows. Sometimes they can't get out of the house and I have to go to them. But I can also be found not just at nursing homes, but at the senior center doing outreach, coming to Norwood High and talking to the students here and various scout troops and other organizations. Outreach is a critical aspect of our job. We want to make sure folks understand and have a knowledge that there are assistance programs out there. My wife, Christina. She is the most important person in my life. But because we're a blended family, she had 4 children when we met, and I have 2 daughters of my own, so my 6 kids are a close second. I had 2 daughters, Erin and Kelly, and when I met Christina, she had Anthony, Emma, Vincent, and Christopher, so I ended up with 3 boys and 3 girls. Score. But I'm a guitar player and a musician, and have been my whole life. So band practice, we're still working. Band practice takes up some time. I enjoy reading. There's usually 2 or 3 books going in my house, and Christina's the same way. Both love to read, and that's pretty much it. '64 Ford Falcon, turquoise, push-button gear shift. Teddy. My real name is Edmund Whalen Ignatius Mulvehill Jr. Ted is good, short. Edmund makes me think of an old guy with patches on his elbows, smoking a pipe or something. Not really an Edmund. Oh, mercy. Well, this is going to be a loaded question because as a diabetic, I'm not supposed to have ice cream. But if I was to cheat, not that I would ever cheat, it would probably have something to do with fudge, chocolate fudge, and pistachios, and Hershey's chocolate syrup. But I would never do that. Yeah, actually it was my dad. As a young boy growing up, we would sit and I would pepper him with questions about his wartime service. He and my uncle were both Army Air Corps pilots. They both flew B-17 bombers, many, many missions for the 2 of them. So I always wanted to know everything about his missions, how he flew the aircraft, what it was like to fly a big airplane like that. And he was my hero. So it was a natural fit for me when I graduated high school, and all my other friends went off to college, and I was not a student, academically inclined student in high school. So I saw the service as my education. And so when I enlisted during a very unpopular time, instead of being drafted, I chose to go because my dad had gone. Listen, no matter what your chosen field of endeavor is, you need to learn about it as a newbie. Starting off, you need to learn about what your goal is. And the only way to do that is to learn from experienced people who are doing the job now or did the job and have experience for them to impart to you. Listening is critical. Again, as an indifferent student at the high school, when I was thrust into that language school in the service, and I wanted to learn, I was highly motivated at that point, I adopted an attitude of turning into a sponge. Just absorb everything. Keep your eyes open. Keep your head on a swivel. Always be looking around. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of your environment. Be aware of the subject matter that you're trying to learn, and listen, 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 listen. Try not to speak. You know, young kids going in the service, I tell them, there's 3 answers to any question. Yes sir, no sir, no excuse sir. Other than that, zip it. And the same thing for anybody choosing a new endeavor. As you should go out into the world, talk less, listen more. That way you learn.